We are back. Do you know what? One day I'm going to do an intro where I don't go, hi, team.
Also, we have this argument most times, don't we, that Joe says, do you want to do the intro? And I just say, no, you do the intro because that's just how it is. And I can't.
Then you get my, hi,
I know.
team.
And in fact, I think there was one podcast and you weren't here and I had to do the intro. And the guys will tell you behind the camera, we had to do about 5 takes because I just don't do the intro. They're nodding and laughing behind the camera that you can't see, but
Hi,
that's a true
team.
story. Didn't we have to do it about 5 times because I don't do the intros?
Well, I'm here. And guess what? Welcome to the Everyone Active podcast. I am one of your hosts, Joe.
I am sidekick, Michelle.
Sidekick.
I'm just here for the amusement, I think. How are you?
I am really good. Got a voice.
Hooray.
Got my
she's still
health.
here.
Yes. Ha, ha, ha.
Back in your hometown of Harpenden.
Hello,
This is like our
Harpenden.
hometown now. We like it here.
I know.
It's a lovely village.
Oh, lovely little village. Have to do a little nod to Team Lodge, just down the road. Cycling there, circuits there. Come on, the team. But yes, hello, Team Harpenden.
Hi.
And we're actually now live from the Fortis studio.
Exciting.
Yay! With views onto the gym.
It's beautiful views. Is this episode 9?
Oh, is it episode 9? Yes, it
It is episode 9. So that means today we're going to talk about staying active as you get older.
Yes, as you get older. How are we going to define getting older?
Well, I remember when I'm going to tell you a story now.
Go for it.
When I was 20, I started my pension, paying into my pension.
That is very organised.
Yay me. Anyway, I decided that I was going to retire at 55.
Okay.
I'm 53. I'm not ready to retire.
Good, because we cannot lose you.
I'm not going anywhere.
Great.
You're going to have to just stick with me. So I think we're looking at sort of like 65 upwards of what we would class as getting older. I'm not saying you're old because you're not.
No.
But more senior is wiser.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, look
wiser.
how wise I am.
And so we're going to talk about exercise whilst we're getting older. I'm going to dive in right now because we kind of know each other. We've got a bit of a friendship thing going on, a little bit of a love crush too. But our most influential people when we were growing up, the grannies.
Oh.
But I want to talk to you about your granny.
Okay, so
Go.
My nana, so that's my mum's mum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bless her heart. We called her Dolly. No, she wasn't called Dolly. Her name was Edna, but let's not talk about that. We called her Dolly. She was part of the English version of the Folies Bergère. So if you don't know what that is, like the can-can dancers.
Yes. The
Skirts, everything. And so she was an avid dancer. And I remember when I was very young, she lived in Liverpool, bless her, and she used to come and teach my sister and I dances. So we would be in the lounge doing dance routines.
Oh my! See, everything is now falling into place. We see.
Clicking in, see? My mum would come home, my dad would come home, and we would have full production ready to go.
Brilliant.
I'm talking costumes, props. I very vividly remember her teaching us to dance, kind of a can-can, so like kicking your legs in front, with balloons underneath. It was very bizarre. But yes, she was fantastic.
And movement all her life then.
I mean, even to literally, I was saying, the night that she died, she'd been out dancing that night.
How old was she?
She was 80-something.
Phenomenal.
Had been out jive dancing, which of course is really...
Yeah, that's full on.
Very energetic. Just died peacefully in her sleep. But she was active all her life.
That's amazing. We're going to talk about that. Active all her life, but also she's totally influenced the generations below her
Totally.
to get into...
My sister and I are both
yes.
group exercise instructors. My sister was very much into ballet and dance as a younger. I was more sort of gymnastics and things. But yeah, she totally was inspirational.
That's amazing. So my little granny, my little granny Elsie, she is also up with the old stars. But when she was 16, 17, worked for the Milk Marketing Board and led their group exercise sessions.
No.
Didn't know this until I was about 20, and I found these pictures of her, gym skirts, all in this same uniform, and there she is leading away, and I'm like, Granny, what's this? And she was like, yes, dear, absolutely used to love it. Was so important for our mental health. We'd get everyone out in lunchtime. There we are. Come rain or shine, we're out. So she's basically running a good old circuits class. Their next photo album, she's out on a canoe. I'm like, excuse me.
And how old was she at this point?
Oh, we're like 50s, 60s, like I am now, say, way older. And I'm like, you're still going? And she's like, yes, dear. Of course I am. And my greatest memory of her, other than just being an absolute love, is she was also always moving. She used to say, can't see, can't hear, but I can still move my feet. And she did. And that's just, I think it probably led to a longevity of her life because she still moved. She couldn't dance, she couldn't canoe, she wasn't leading the circuits, but she would always walk and she'd always want to get. This is ironic because we've had Tim on a couple of episodes ago that is running the Thames. My gran lived near there and she would always just want to get out and have a walk along the riverside all the way through. And she also died, bless her little heart, had 2 heart attacks. Nobody knew, she didn't know. Went to hospital with a little bit of a ouch. Doctors were like, you've had 2 heart attacks. You probably shouldn't actually be walking.
Wow.
Called us all in. Said a little goodbye, went to sleep. That was it. Perfectly. On her birthday as well.
Oh.
But she loved it. So the influence, I guess, of a granny, an older generation is phenomenal. Like you might be in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and you've got younger children, teenagers, daughters, sons watching you. You do not know how you are influencing
do you know what? I've got
them.
ladies that come to some of my group exercise classes at Spelthorne. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
They've got great grandchildren, and they are out running around with them, and it's amazing,
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there's our first biggest benefit of exercising as an older adult is the influence that you are shining to generations below you.
Absolutely. And we've got. Let's talk about how we get that sort of generation involved in our centres. We have lots of different group exercise classes that they can participate in. What have you got here at Harpenden for that sort of generation?
So we've got Forever Fit.
Yeah. So that incorporates it's slightly different at each site, isn't it? So what have you got here?
Yeah. So we have got a cardio and strength class. So we've got that led by Andrea at the moment. Hello, Andrea. And then we also have more of an aerobic-esque dance routine. So it's the using your grey matter as well as your physical matter.
Really important.
Is our other Forever Fit session with Vicky. Hi, Vicky. And then we have also got, and I think this is in quite several Everyone Actives, we run specific Parkinson's classes.
Ah, yes, we have those, yes.
So we've got them. Hello, Delia. She runs our Parkinson's session. So on a Sunday and a Monday, we've got Parkinson's sessions. So their movement, the stability, the strength.
Balance, all that kind of thing,
Absolutely. Yes. What about you?
So we have things like Zumba Gold. We have badminton sessions that go on.
Of course. We've got walking tennis.
Walking tennis. We have indoor bowls, which I always like the look of.
Pickleball.
I was about to say, we haven't got it at my site, but I've seen it at other sites when I've been visiting. I'd love to do pickleball.
Is that your thing now?
I've never done it, but I like the look of it.
Oh, my goodness. Sign them up. Team at Spelthorne, hello. We've got another member that wants to do a little guest appearance.
I'd like to do that.
Yay! So we do have a diverse range. And then, of course, we've got lower impact classes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't do high impact. I'm just saying that maybe
I do have these ladies I was telling you about in my body attack classes and Fortis classes. Fortis classes. We've got things like, obviously, yoga, Pilates. Aqua Zumba, Zumba Gold, Rejuvenate. My baby.
Do you know what? Let's go there because you've now triggered it in Rejuvenate.
Okay.
So exercising in our older years, we've done many an episode on the importance of getting rehab, of getting stretches, of getting mind-body connection in our younger years, but in our older years.
Super important. I mean, even just things like balance. It's going to help with fall prevention. When you're learning, I know it sounds silly, but if you're learning choreography, keeps everything just all ticking along quite nicely. Again, just helps all of those sort of everyday tasks. Flexibility is massive. I can't go on about it enough. And so important to keep that up when you get to that kind of slightly older generation of being in your fitness years, I should say. And things like Pilates are so achievable and so accessible as our yoga classes. We have such a wide range of classes that go on that you're bound to find something that suits you.
And let's bust a myth right now. Like, there are people who are potentially double my age, so people in our 80s, and I've gone to a Pilates class with them, I've gone to a yoga class, and they are the most flexible people
Yes.
that I have seen. Like, hands down, way more flexible than me. And I can tell it's because they've done it, they've put the time in, they understand the importance of movement, of stability.
Yeah. I've got a lady that has been coming to one of my body balance classes for years. Moira, I love you. First of all, she is possibly the most glamorous person I've ever met. I was telling her yesterday. Yeah! Very coordinated, always looks beautiful. Anyway, I digress. I think it was February, she had a hip replacement. And her specialist cannot believe how quickly she has healed and has been rehabilitated because she's been back in classes for about 5 weeks. She was back in the gym doing things. She's amazing.
Yes.
And he sort of basically said to her, I don't know how you're doing what you're doing, but
keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
Wow.
And she totally puts that down to keeping going with her yoga classes. She goes on doesn't run on the treadmill, she's walking on the treadmill, she's going on the bike, she's coming to Pilates, she's coming to body balance. She's amazing. I totally love her. I'm going to tell her that I've shouted her out as well. I totally love her. But, but just having that has helped her recovery immensely.
Yeah, hugely important. So aside from our facilities, it's important to stress as well that you can still move outside like this 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
And we're not going, come to the gym 7 days a week.
It's just walking the dog or walking to the shops or gardening.
Absolutely. Any form of movement, anything that's going to physically move your body or raise your heart rate.
Yeah.
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, totally.
And we're gonna go right the way back. So we've moved to a new area.
Yep.
We are in our 70s.
Yep.
We might not have that network around us that we used to.
Okay.
How do we approach the centre? What do we need to go and do? What are the benefits of joining?
I would say, first of all, just go and have a look around, because more than anything, I think we've said about this loads of times, it's a community.
Yes.
And just by walking in that centre, you're going to find like-minded people in there. And not only are you going to find an activity that you might like, whether that's swimming or walking, or whether it's just going in, having a bit of a Pilates session and having a coffee, you're going to make a connection with somebody. And that's not only going to help you physically, but it's going to help your mental well-being as well. And so many, there's big groups, especially at Spelthorne site, they go away on holiday together, they go out to the theatre, there's a whole social gathering that happens with this group of people that's just amazing.
That is phenomenal. Massive bonus. So physical, mentally, joining, being part of a community, a new community potentially.
Yeah.
And also we're going to stress from a group exercise point of view, that we always do.
Yeah.
Please tell your instructor that you're new or that this is your first time trying this class, because we're going to watch out for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to guide you through it.
Yeah.
And here as well, we've mentioned it, or you mentioned it, Fortis. So you might see all singing, all dancing, all everything. But some of our strongest members in Fortis are actually in their potentially later years.
I'm going to shout them out. Denise, legend. Kath, legend. Paul, legend. I mean, these are people that
join in.
Honestly,
Jane, Susan, Linda, Harry.
They're amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
They're amazing. And We also run specific Parkinson's Fortis sessions as well. So that's something that we run at our centre as well. There's all sorts of, if you haven't got, maybe you feel a bit, I can't do things, I'm not very mobile. There's seated exercise classes that you can do as well. There's all sorts of things.
We run a seated yoga class here, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And sons, daughters, children, we quite often have us signing up our own parents because they might not want to use the computer. They might not be that adept with using an app.
Yeah.
But we can do that for you because our sales and our memberships team will guide you through how to set up your parents' membership.
Yeah.
And all our centres are accessible.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
Signed, lifts, how to get from A to B, all are accessible.
And everything's the signage is all very clear, isn't it? So it's not daunting when you walk in somewhere.
So way back on our season 1, we had the gorgeous Sarah, our Admiral nurse, also from Dementia UK. And they have been working with the team at Everyone Active to do exactly that, to make our sites dementia friendly. So in terms of clear door signage, clear lift signage.
Clear toilet signage.
Yes.
That's for me mainly. Going back, I know that I wasn't in that episode of the podcast. I think I was away. Anyway, Sarah was saying some really quite worrying stats to you, wasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
About what happens if you don't look after yourself and what the repercussions could be. What were those some of those benefits that she was saying? Do you remember?
So she was... They all fall in line, but it's the cognitive patterns. So it is, we've spoken about potentially a more dance-based class or a routine-based class. And I'm going to say sometimes, you know what? A Fortis class will fall into a routine class because you are doing the same movement for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So the neurological patterns, so the brain patterns and keeping it active.
Keeping everything
absolutely
ticking over.
The range of motion and the movement that you do. So the fact that you can move sideways, that you can move forward and backwards, like our body moves in.
How it naturally moves, yeah.
Absolutely. So that functional side.
And things that help you do the everyday tasks, like tying your shoes up, putting your shoes on, that kind of thing. You know, you see so many people suffer with their flexibility, don't you, if they don't keep it up. Sorry, I've interrupted you. Carry on.
No, not at all. And then also the movement of joints. Like, we know that arthritis could kick in. We know that dementia actually could kick in. So it's just the fact that we are giving our bodies what it naturally does.
Yeah.
It naturally wants to move. And the benefits of movement, she says, are, huge, massively up there. So please keep moving.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Moving.
So let's have a think about other forms of exercise that we could get involved in at an Everyone Active Centre. So I think we've spoken about this. I think you mentioned it as a specialist area when we were talking about PT last season.
GP referral?
That's the one.
Yeah.
So we have those sorts of classes, don't we, as well?
But it's not just class. It's a GP referral membership.
Right. So talk to me about that. How do people get involved in that?
So this is a big growth area that Everyone Active are working with local NHS trusts, local community trusts, local doctors. So it's a GP referral scheme. So this could be coming back from injury, this could be coming back from but it could be something that we just have to live with day to day.
So a condition that you're looking to learn to live with.
Great.
Understand.
Great summary. That has been proven that if you exercise or move in a controlled and programmed manner, that actually it's going to aid you, it's going to help you, it's going to prolong you. So a GP referral membership, you are referred from your general practitioner and you sign up for your GP referral membership. So with that, it's not as much as your monthly membership. Yeah. And within that, you will get to work with a GP referral qualified. So this is, remember, an additional...
Okay, so it's a level 4 person, isn't it?
Yes.
Understand.
Who has the expertise, who has the knowledge, who has done the education and got the qualification to work with your condition.
Yeah.
And they will meet with you, they will chat with you, they will set you on a program. So you will have a session with them. They'll then give you a 4, 5, 6 week program to follow. And then you meet back with that trainer.
Got you.
And you talk about your progress. You talk about potentially what you've struggled with, what you've excelled at, and then how you progress from there.
So, for example, if you didn't want to go, if you didn't fit into the GP referral scheme, you could maybe go and do something like one of our walking netballs,
yes,
or walking footballs.
Yes. So
sessions.
These are pay as you go.
So
sessions.
I don't have to be a member to do that.
Don't
just
have to be a
rock
member.
up. Perfect.
Which is also the case for all of our group exercise classes. You actually don't have to have your full membership. If you want to just come weekly to your chair yoga, then you just pay for your chair yoga session weekly.
Yeah.
In terms of the walking netball, walking basketball, walking pickleball, the sports-based sessions, you can buy a term's worth of sessions. So you're going to sign up to this course for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then you've got your routine, you've got your movement, you've got your social group, and it's also within your capabilities that you find yourself at the time.
Do you know what I've just thought about as well? Mm-hmm. Everyone Active on Demand.
Oh my goodness. Alistair's sessions online. Hi, Alistair.
Hi, Alistair.
So Alistair is one of our master trainers.
Yes.
Who has got his GP referral qualifications, who has got his rehab, who has got his... he's
got everything. He's amazing, isn't he? Yeah, he's amazing.
And on Everyone Active on Demand, he's got seated.
There's all sorts of seated exercise on there, but also on Everyone Active on Demand, there's yoga sessions, there's Pilates with little on me.
Someone you might recognise.
Hi. Your sessions on there, what are your sessions? You've got all sorts of things on there, haven't you?
So high intensity, low impact.
So again, it would be great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the fact that it is low impact means that we are actually looking after our joints and we are looking after all of our movement patterns. And with highlight, I try to hit into every muscle group.
And so again, if you don't feel, or you can't get to a session, or you haven't got time, or for whatever reason, or you're just starting out, might be a really good place to start Everyone Active on Demand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yay.
Well, I think that's pretty much what we've got time for.
Again.
I know.
Flies.
Time does fly.
Oh.
Thank you so much for watching, listening.
Yay. And as always, give us thumbs up, give us stars, ideally 5.
5 stars.
Unless there's space for 10 stars.
Could you do 5 stars twice?
Yes. Woohoo!
Let's make that a thing.
Always interact with us. We love reading your comments and your emails.
So the email address is podcast@everyoneactive.com.
That is us.
And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Take care, team. Bye.